Hello. How's everyone doing? Another Thursday. Hope everyone is having a great week. There's two Marks. How you Marks doing? We have something really cool today. It's a bit of a tricks. As many of you know, I'm a designer. I do a lot of graphic design. Hey, Tess. I do a lot of graphic design. So back in the days, I used to design, with a millimeter pages. So in the millimeter pages is basically little squares, right? All divided, and a client gave you whatever product they come up with, and you have to design something on top of that product, so you can actually make the mock-up. So you learn a different techniques, and there is one technique that I like to drag over time. I've been using it for 20 plus years. So I'm going to explain how I do this for the laser and how I try to make it work. Now, the easiest part will be if I just go ahead and use a Lightroom camera, and sorry for this shadow. I just put the light on the laser way too high, so I have a huge shadow here, so I can make little animals.
You're a puppet.
I can make puppets for you guys. Nom, 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 nom,
Welcome
nom.
to the show.
So basically, what it is if you have a light burn, you have a camera set up, it will be super easy because you just throw the object there, and we will do that in another video. Put the object in there, you calibrate your camera, you just put whatever you want, and it works great, and that's easy. The main goal in this video is to have anyone from the beginner to probably just a tip and trick of what it is, but we want to have anyone starting on the laser industry or world as a hobby be able to do an engrave and put text on this Dolphin. We have a little, I want to say rooster. I have another word in mind, but it's YouTube. We have a little horsey. And also we have a nice sign. You probably want to put the letters, going on into the shape of the sign and not just a square that goes in the middle. So you want to do different stuff, and we have a bonus one engraved on this. You want to put like flowers or just a text around it, whatever. So we have a couple things that we usually wants to engrave, and it's hard to find the way to frame it, the way to find the dimensions, because it's difficult to see, okay, it's going to be this high, but then what is my width is from here to here. So we can find different ways to do it. I want to show you guys one way that I like to do it. I like to work around some of these options, and we have an interesting video. It's more about technique in this case. Of course, we have our laser ready because we're going to be doing this in the laser. So, well, here, the the square is in the other side of where the laser is there, but I put the video in here. All right. I don't know how many people we have connected right now. We have 7 people connected. Hello, everyone. Say hi in the chat. Say hello. Talk to me. Ask questions. Please let me know that you are alive. The company's called Alive Pixel, not for nothing, right?
Not a dead pixel.
Not a dead pixel. You're alive, right? You're over there or not. Make some noise. Come on. All right. So the first thing that I want to talk with everyone is Carlos. ¿Cómo estás? This is going to be your best friend. Some people don't know the vernier or caliper. This is great because especially we work in different measurements. I like to work on millimeters per second or inches is the same thing, but I like to work on millimeters. Uh, what was the word on the show that we watched the other day?
What?
The spatula.
Spatula.
The spatula, yeah. So I like to work with millimeters on the laser because it's actually a little bit more accurate. But the way I did the measurement in this is using this little square. So this is actually on inches, and you can buy one of these anywhere. Now this one goes to 11 inches, which is, in my opinion, kind of the perfect size to work on the laser. You have enough room. If you're engraving something, you can put a 10-20% extra over scanning. You don't hit the walls. So depending what you're doing, for me, the best way to work on the machine, I know the machine is like a 20 inches, but I like to work in a 12, so I have enough room for margin of errors and work around. So Tim, how you doing, my friend? It's really interesting. This is not a boomerang. It can be used, but it won't come back. So I want to talk about this. And one of the big things that people is selling and making everywhere, I got these ones today because I know a lot of people is going to be interested in how to frame exactly. And this is the easiest because in this case you will frame a word that is in a square. So you need to just worry about two dimensions here. And it's super simple. So we're gonna do these ones, and actually Tess told me I want this for here. So she will tell me what to put here. I'm just following orders. All right. So two things I want all to know. I'm gonna be using an X2 laser, but this applies to basically any laser. You can do this with any laser, even with a fiber, even with a fiber laser. So applying this is going to be about the same in how you find where to put your artwork and things like that. Of course, the fiber doesn't move, so you don't need to worry about that specifics, but it's going to be good for any machine. You have an ortho laser, you have a atom stack laser, you have now a lot of people is buying Atzer laser. Go and do it. It's going to be the same. Doesn't matter. You have limit switches. You don't have limit switches. I'm gonna actually go and use it without the limit switches, so we can frame it by hand and see exactly what it is, because I want this video to be compatible and friendly for anyone. Doesn't matter what laser you use. I'm going to be actually using only a 10 watt. I have a 20 watt, but again, I want this to be as friendly as possible for everyone. Okay, you have any questions, put it on the chat. Tess is going to be looking at those questions as well. Thank you, Matthew. Is going to be looking on the chat, and if anyone have a question and I'm overlooking at that or oversee the question, she's going to let me know. So please, guys, let's try to make this video useful for everyone. Let's try to make this a fun experience. So please, again, all your comments below. Don't forget, subscribe. We have a giveaway. I'm gonna put this here so you can go ahead and subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. Go to this link, alivepixelcreates.com/giveaway. Follow all the little things that you have to do there. You have to be subscribed to the channel. Once you're subscribed to the channel, you're safe. $50 gift card from Amazon, $100 gift card from Alive Pixel Creates. If you don't want to use Alive Pixel Creates because you already got all the stuff, thank you very much. We are going to give you 3 hours of professional graphic design services. So whatever you need to do, we are going to help you. If you don't want to do a graphic design, you need to work on your website. I have a team of people that works on my company for that. So we will help you out. So remember, livepixelcreates.com/giveaway. I'm talking like crazy today. I don't know what's going on with me. All right, let's get this started. Okay, so first things first, when you have one of these elements, the first thing that you want to understand is how your laser works. In this case, since we are doing a diode laser, we're going to be looking into dimensions of a square. So that's why these will come handy. So one of the cool things in this is for woodworking or construction. You're not buying a specific tool. So one of the cool things is this has the zero in the center too, in the inside, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find how we want to orient our horse. So once you have that, right, just put your little horse in place. Gonna be there. I want it there. So you will know where in the scale is going to be your horse here and where the scale is gonna be here. So put it flat on the table, take a picture of it, and I wanna show you really quick what that looks like. I think this is going to open in the worst possible way. So let me put just the picture. So I did took a couple pictures already just to save time because I don't want to be jumping back and forth from on camera. So I'm gonna open this file location for you guys, so you will see what I have here. So I have a couple pictures, right? Let me pull the screen and bling. All right. Okay, so this is my folder view. So I have a couple pictures. So we took the picture of the little horse here. Here it is. So I want to rotate this so you guys can see it better. So this is just a random camera on my phone. I didn't do anything special on this. So what we have here is a specific way to know that I'm actually doing something in the correct scale. I hope that makes sense for everyone. So that's what I want to do here. So I want to make sure that I'm on the right scale. So since I'm going to be doing that, let me see if everything is here right. Yes, I was just checking on the chat. So since I'm going to be working on the position and everything in this, and I don't have a camera on my library, I just want to make sure that I'm working on the right scale. So when the laser do the framing, it won't frame around the horse. It's gonna frame based on a square area. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice something that is a little bit simple in some cases. So I'm gonna put this image right now on Lightburn, uh, and I want you guys to see here on the laser. So I don't have nothing set up on the laser. I only have my L shape that I used the last time when I did we did the dog coaster, right? So there's nothing in there. It's not like I prepare all the stuff. I actually should, but I did not. So first things first, I have my laser logging in, connected, and it's working. So this is my canvas on my working area on my laser. And one of the things that I'm going to do right now is import. So there's a little page with an arrow in, that's import. So I'm going to import the horse. So you will see that a picture came super big, number one. Number two, I'm gonna rotate this picture to see it. So it's super big compared to my area, right? So remember to rotate in the little corners to scale on the little squares. Okay? So I just rotate these 180 degrees. So I have it here. So I'm not going to change right now anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to select T1 or T2. These are tools. And if you see this a little bit grayish, is because probably in your layers, your output is off, right? So I don't want this image to be engraved or anything like that. I just wanna use it as show. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to draw a square. I'm just going to use the top part of the ear all the way to the back of the tail. And now I'm going to move this square to the front of the nose and to the end of the little hooks. There you go. And I'm gonna use T1 on this. So T1 or tool is basically an area that we can use as framing. It's not going to be engraved. Hello. It's not going to be engraved. It's a framing area. So what I'm not doing first the scale of the picture, because if I do the scale of the picture, I'm going to lose a little bit of my view, and it's a little bit of the quality when I zoom in to be able to frame this in the right place. So now I'm going to select everything, right, and I'm going to scale this down. So when I scale this down, things that I'm going to check. First of all, I should know what is the size of the little horse. So again, if you're working with millimeters, it's going to be probably faster and easier. If you're working with inches, you might need to do a little bit of measuring around. So I know right now that this horse, on the size scale, is going to be, let's see, almost 3.5 inches tall. So 3.5 inches tall in the right scale, right? Let's say that you open just Google, like I'm doing it right now, and go for 3.5. That's basically 9 centimeters. So that will be 90 millimeters. So we're gonna go and we're gonna say that this should be 90. So I'm gonna see height. I have it in 89.72. That's really, really close. And that was eyeballing everything. So I'm gonna select everything a little bit and I'm gonna scale almost nothing. So again, there you go, 92.25. Just a smidge smaller. Again, we are doing this not necessarily with a camera. We are creating our own uh, frame based on a picture, so we can actually do something on the horse. Uh, Oscar, how you doing, my friend? All right, so now we have the horse basically in the area that we want. Now it's important to know where we want it because as right now it's anywhere on my canvas. So if I move anything, I recommend to move everything, including the picture. So let's do something interesting in here. So let's do a quick text because it's going to engrave something. So I know Tess love horses. So let's
Yeah, I do.
do Tess love horses. Horses. There you go.
Wow, that was subtle.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell. I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, there you go. So now, something that a lot of people probably don't know is what happened with the text, right? So sometimes the text is a little bit finicky to work in different things. So one thing that I'm gonna do here is gonna change the font really quick, do something a little bit prettier than that. Let's do this one. I like this one. And what I'm gonna do in this text is just a tad bigger. And let's give this text the shape from the neck to the body. All right? Pound it, Oscar. Yeah. All right. So let's continue with this guy. So now what I want to do here, I want to do a right click. I'm trying to not use specifically shortcuts or key shortcut for this. I'm going to be clicking everywhere, right? So bear with me, please. Now I'm gonna convert the text that I have right now. First, I'm gonna check that the text is not overlapping anything, doesn't have nothing weird, and I'm gonna say, okay, I want this text on this layer. It's too bright. This layer. I'm gonna change this to fill so I can see it better for you guys. And right click, convert to path. When I convert the text to pad, it gave me the option to ungroup or group the text. So now each letter is an individual on my artwork. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to select Oops. So to not mess with that, I'm gonna right click on this image and I'm going to lock selected shape. Okay, so I don't mess with that. All right, now I'm gonna select this text first. I'm gonna put it here and I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna grab this other one here. I'm gonna put this one here and I'm gonna reshape this one a little bit here. Just because she really like horses. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. All right. So I'm just doing something really quick here because I want you guys to kind of get the feeling of how to trace really quick in something. I don't want this to become. I'm gonna change my speed. This is balsa wood from Lowe's. No, Hobby Lobby. My bad. So this is really soft. So my speed is going to be probably 100, and my maximum power, well, in power, it overall, I'm gonna say that it's going to be probably 60. I don't need this to be burning a hole on it, and I'm gonna say that this is probably 2 millimeters, probably. All right, so again, these are individual letters, so I'm going to kind of rearrange just a little bit so we can follow better the shape. Let's make this E a little bigger here. Let's grow this a lot. Remember, the O is actually two elements. There we go. So framing and adding things to odd shapes, in this case is a horse, uh, it's not really difficult. What you need to just take care of is of the shape itself and the measurement that you're going to be using to frame and how you're going to be framing, because the position of the laser in this case is going to be always one of the corners. So you want to make sure that one of your corners where you have the laser is going to be definitely in the right place. So again, I want to show you the little horse here. It's important. It's important to know that when you frame, it's not going to frame around the horse. It's going to frame on a square. So if we have the right dimensions, when you frame on the square, the position of the text should be fairly center in the place. Now, nobody's perfect, so it might put this horse's love. I don't know. So we'll see. So we're doing this one here, and I think these kind of things will look pretty. If you're doing not just for test, but if you're doing these things, yeah, for a birthday cake or a little cupcake, and you're putting this as a topper. What is the name? It's a topper. How you call these things that you put on the cakes? Maybe
What?
the thing that you put on the cakes on the like a toppers.
A cake topper, yeah.
Yeah, cake topper. I guess I guessed the word. I'm gonna change this here. I'm gonna move the S a little bit. So I'm trying to make this a little bit more complicated than it should be. But I don't know why I do that all the time. Ask that to my clients on the graphic design. Why is so complicated? The printer doesn't understand it. Well, first of all, you should get another printer. Keep in mind when I'm doing the selection, remember from right to left, select if you enclose the entire element. That means that there is something there that it shouldn't. Bye. And left to right only needs to touch the element. Okay, just keep that in mind when you select everything. All right, so we have a little bit of a text there. I'm not going to take forever in this, although I'm actually taking forever. Here we go. And my dog is like, why I'm not in the video? I want to be in the video. I'm sure he wants to be in the video. Put a little here and this little a little here. There you go. So we're covering a whole shape that otherwise will be a little bit weird to frame. Yes, we can probably just frame this. But again, tool is my framing area. Okay, so the orange square is going to be my framing area. Blue is going to be the layer that I'm actually engraving. And my picture output is off, so I don't see it. In both cases, I have the air assist off. I'm going to engrave with no air assist. So let's move to the laser and let's try to position this in place. Now, you guys notice this. I have that also on the laser. So I want to show you this here. So on the laser, I'm gonna go with this corner down. So let's try to set everything in place. So I'm gonna put my horse here. There is the horse. All right. So I'm gonna be moving this by hand. So you see the red light, completely ignore that. For people that is looking right now, again, I will use the autofocus, but I want this to be able to be used by all the users. So there it is. That's the focus. I'm gonna check that I'm not hitting anything. I'm not hitting anything. There we go. So I'm on focus, and I'm going to start in this corner. So I want to start on the lower corner on my little jig. I will be putting all the things that I'm using right now on the comments. So you can buy the jig, you can buy different stuff that I'm using if you want. As right now, I'm going to first I'm gonna fire my laser so I can see where my laser light is. So I'm gonna do just a 2%. I'm gonna fire that. I don't see the 2%. Let me turn off the red light. 2% is probably too low for that module. There it is. It's a tiny little blue light that I'm going to put in here. Let's try again. Fire this little light. So there it is. It's right in the corner. I hope you guys see it. It's like a bright in the corner. So I'm framing in the corner of this horse. So let me go back here to what we have on the monitor. And I want you to see the framing area. Fire the laser. Yes, sir. So now on move, remember, I'm going to be using user origin. I'm not going to be using my laser coordinates. I'm not going to be using limit switches. I want this to be fairly open for everyone, okay? So that's my position. That's where I'm going to be working on. So just to make sure that everyone is with me on that, user coordinate, user origin, we have current position, remember? So user coordinate here. It's interesting that my coordinates are not being. I don't know. You guys remember that usually show me here to clear the coordinates and all that. For whatever reason, it's not here. So that's interesting. I wonder if I need to reset my. I need to reset my interface in Library. Sometimes happens. Laser lead shape properties. That's really interesting that I don't see my options to keep my laser or set my coordinates on the laser. Everything is there. So let's try to see if it's something with this. Let's take out this. Let's see if this works. Let's save this project so I can open it again. Of course, for whatever reason, my interface is not showing me the clear coordinates. So I'm going to reset my library really quick. Let's try to reset the library really quick here. Well, like always, something happened. You know, you gotta try to make it work. There it is. That was the weirdest thing. There it is. Now you can see these three buttons were completely missing. They were gone. They were like, nope, not working today. All right, let's open the last project. There we are. The laser is in place. Let's see, the laser is connected. Yes, it is. Now I'm gonna clear the origin and set a new origin. So we know that that's gonna be my origin. And I hope it framed in the right direction. Let's see. It did not. It's going anywhere. So I'm gonna do a current position just in case. Let's frame it. It's completely gone, my laser, for whatever reason. You gotta love when that happens. Yeah, there are two marks. It's like making it hard to know who is who. Let's try to reset this. We have some technical difficulties. There it is. And that's what I like to do the lives because at that point, if I have something wrong going on, all right, team, drive safe. Thank you for joining. If something goes wrong, and I know what it went wrong, you see the area, I'm selecting the picture. The picture shouldn't be used for nothing in here. So for whatever reason, I'm selecting just the picture. So the framing is down here and seems to be inverted. So that's a really interesting thing that is happening. Doesn't let me unlock the picture. There you go. Unlock by picture. Now we're framing here.
Mark said you can't have too many marks.
Come on, Mark. Yes, we can.
Testing the theory today.
All right, that was interesting on the framing area. So I think we are basically ready.
Do one more
So
time.
one more time the framing. All right. Nope, never. I know, right? Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the framing, the light on framing settings, machine settings. Um, no, sorry, it's not a machine settings. What I'm talking about, device settings, and I'm going to say laser on when framing, so you guys can see where the framing is. There we go. You guys want me to do it one more time so you can see the framing? I'll try to slow the framing. All right, let's frame it again. And let's put you guys in the other camera. So as you can see on the framing, we are now going into the same area that we have on the horse. So I'm gonna turn on all my fans because I don't want to steam the house completely. Maximum speed on that one. Now I'm gonna frame again to make sure that I'm not hitting my fan. There we go. All right. And last review of what we're doing. We have 100 in the speed and a 60% in power. All right. So what do we say, kids?
Fire the laser!
All right, let's do it. So we have a letter L that it actually shows a little bit off my original, and I think is when I change the size. FRL. I don't think that's gonna stick too much though.
FRL. FRL.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So you see that the letter L when I reset the coordinates got a little bit off, and that's one of the other things that I want to talk to. When you do the coordinates, the framing, and everything, and you set your laser, always, please, for the love of God, plan that something is going to be a little bit off here and there because number one, you're not using a camera to set it. So on printing industry, there is something called bleed. I didn't left a lot of bleed in this one. when I put it in the beginning, I didn't let a lot of bleed. Therefore, some of the things are going to be too close to the edges, and that's completely my fault. I shouldn't know that there's always, a little line off, especially because he was always eyeballing. But I hope this is one of the first. We have another set to go, and we will see how far off I was. I think that so far I was like 5 millimeters too too much to the right, and about, I'm going to go ahead and say probably another 5 millimeters too tall. So when I frame one of the steppers, probably, and that's another thing to consider. The steppers sometimes when they stop or they jump. They make like a little jump before the start. So account for that as well. I didn't account for that. Completely forgot, and now I'm paying the price. I mean, one of the S is completely off of the butt. Now, another thing that I do that I didn't do on this one is I put painter's tape. When I put the painter's tape, what I do is I go with a low power just to mark on the painter's tape. Then I remove it, put the piece back, and run it. That's a way to save the headache of, oops, I did it wrong, you know? But why not? It's a life. We gotta make mistakes. In other way, people don't learn, like me. Yep, it was way too high. So definitely one of the steppers jumped when I align it. It was close though. Let's see if the filter in the camera helps. Let me add the filter. So as you can see, it's like about almost a whole centimeter too high. Do we have anyone new our live tonight? Anyone is the first time joining us? I know Tim was the first time that he joined it. Uh, he has a long drive. Let's call this a pop art. It's a little bit off, but why not? Pop art. I mean, I'm with my 80s glasses. Why? All right, what is the next thing that you guys want to do? The dolphin? You want to do the rooster?
Do the pop.
Dale, your first time joining us. Yes. So, audio. It was so funny. The biggest problem in the audio was these sides of the beard that it touched the microphone. So nothing that a little scissors couldn't fix.
Amen.
All right, this is almost finishing. So Always with the lasers, you have to. I know, right? Yeah, I live in the 80s. Nothing that on the laser you always want to buy two of whatever. You want to test on one and do the other one, right? Painter's tape. You can add painter's tape on top. Just cover it with painter's tape and go really, 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 low in power to mark the painter's tape only. Once you have the painter's tape, you like where it is, you like the alignment, peel it off, put it back in place. If you have a jig or something similar to that, like I'm using, you're going to be safe and easy. Now, I do have a complaint for Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby guys, laser is on. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of blue in the world. Hobby Lobby people, please, for God's sake, don't put the stickers on the wood like this. It's really annoying to peel. This is the same thing, and I didn't want to be scratching the wood right now. So please do not put the stickers like this. You are for people that don't want to put this over anything and have it display completely. You are ruining it because this is balsa wood. Balsa wood, when you even go with your nail to peel it, you still leaving marks. It's really soft wood. So having a sticker here is not the best idea. Hobby Lobby, please. Hope you see this video. I doubt it. Anyway, let's grab that little horsey. And like I said, I was about a centimeter off. Boop. See? Painter's tape. Let's try the dolphin. Why not? Let's keep making smoke in the house. It works. Let's go a new file. You want to save these? Why not? So I have a new file. I'm gonna add now dolphin. Here's the dolphin. We're gonna do the same thing. Nothing super crazy here. It is. It is. And I hate that they just go ahead and randomly put a sticker on it because at the end of the day, sometimes, like I say, people wants to buy these. They put like a little stick on it to put it on the cake or whatever, and you have then all the marks that you were peeling, and that is not good. That there is multiple ways. I mean, if all these cost whatever it is, you can put an easy peel sticker or something plastic, and not just these cheap paper ones that when you peel it does this. So here's the dolphin. That was actually quite easy to do. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna flip it just for the sake of doing it. So there is one thing that I know that fell on the horse that I didn't account for, and that's where the bleeds works in every case. I didn't account for the curvature of the lens, and people that like or are hobbyists with photography knows that there is always a distortion on the lenses, and that distortion actually goes to different sizing. I didn't account for that, so let's try to measure again twice and get a better reading on this. So I'm gonna use a little caliper here, and I'm gonna go tail to base of the dolphin here, just to get the whole size. Okay, so I have here 107 millimeters. So basically, this is telling me that this section should be 100 millimeters. So let's do it differently now. So lock my position and I'm gonna 107. I'm gonna do it like this. So this is the side. You'll see here the little square. Okay, so let's go to the camera. Monitor. Here we go. So I did a little square, and this is the 107. So I'm gonna fit my dolphin in the area. So let's fit this dolphin here. That sounds kind of weird. I wanna fit my dolphin here. Whatever. All right. So we're close to it. So a little smaller, smaller there, and a little smaller maybe here. So I think it's good enough. So we have a 107 millimeters area to work. And okay, what we can put on the dolphin? Who can tell me what to put on the dolphin? We already have this horse. So what we should put in the dolphin? Come on, guys, talk to me. Give me the scoops. While we're talking about this, I'm going to be setting this here. So this is not exactly long enough.
I see it.
Hmm?
I can see it. You have it. Oh, it's like nylon type of.
So I'm gonna play just with the sizing there. I don't know you guys saw, but I align my stuff usually with this. I'm gonna put this a little back so it doesn't hit it. I'm actually really surprised that that fan in that configuration did such a good job. Shark bite. Ooh ha ha. I wonder how many people picked that reference right away, Dale. Shark bite. Ooh ha ha. Shark bite. Just for the sake of doing it like that.
Shark bait.
Shark bite, shark bait. Oh yeah, shark bait. You're right. Shark bait. Ooh ha ha. That's a really cool tip, Mark. The only problem is I do not have a hair dryer.
Yes, you do.
I don't, nor hair. So this is something that I like to design. So let's do it in a different way. So we're gonna use the same thing, but we're gonna do it differently. So you maybe have Inkscape or any other software. I know you guys know that I love to use Illustrator. Working with Illustrator for so many years. So let's try to do this with Illustrator really quick and see bait is better. Let's do it with shark bait. So I'm using Illustrator right now. Just disregard all the work from my company. So I'm gonna do whatever in here. I don't need to do nothing specific. So this is what I love of using Lightburn. Shark bait. There you go. Lightburn opens right off. Well, I don't like to use chemicals, especially inside the apartment because it smells everywhere. If I'm in my garage or my studio or something like that, I will. But right now, like inside the apartment, it stinks everywhere. So let's look for nice fonts. I kind of like that, kind of groovy, but this one makes more sense. So here I want to do a little line. There we go. I'm gonna copy my text out. And I'm gonna go on this. So here is my text. Yeah, if I put an orbital sander in this, I will probably just end up with dust.
David, DNA,
What?
DNA. No, the shark bait.
So I'm gonna make this one a bit bigger text, and this one is going to be a little smaller text. We're gonna do some changes in this really quick. So first of all, I'm going to change the angle of this text, and that's why I love working with Illustrator. I mean, maybe it's just all the years that I've been using it. So I'm gonna keep it in there, and now my text is going to be transformed into curves. So I have all these letters, a little bit individual letters. This is going to be a little group, and I'm going to change this just a tad. There we go. Just really quick to give it in kind of a placement. I'm gonna do the same with this one here. We're gonna go with this guy and a little smaller than this guy. So now that I have this, I'm gonna save my file just as it is. Shark bait. It's gonna be in the same place. So I have an Illustrator file. Doesn't matter the configuration of the Illustrator because the wonderful Lightburn actually opens Illustrator. Here we go. There it is. So again, this guy, we're gonna do a little bit faster engraving. So I'm gonna do 150, probably 80 power is gonna be fine for this. I have a 5% over scanning. White vinegar, that's interesting. One pass, and the lines is fine. Okay, so this is my framing area. Oops, I put the wrong one. So this is going to be my framing area only, and this guy shouldn't even be there. So we have this in the area. Okay, so again, this point should be where it starts. This point here should be where we're going to start. I'm going to set the laser in placement right now. So let's look at that. So first of all, we're gonna make sure that it's in focus. Again, I'm gonna do it manually, so no one can worry about where we are. So I'll lower this manually. We're in focus. And I want to try to make sure that I'm going to be framing this in the right place. So here's where it's starting. I'm going to remove my background. Again, I'm going to fire this laser here. I'm going to try to frame in the right place. And I'm going to go and frame it. I know, Painter's Day, but not too much time for make sure that everything is there. I just want to show you really quick, guys, how everything goes. So clear origins and set my new origin just to make sure that everything is in place. I'm gonna frame it. It seems like it frames in the right place. So someone is excited. All right, let's frame one more time. All right. And now that we have that, let's send the job. This is going to take a little bit longer. It's a bit more of the area to engrave for whatever reason. So just to put this as reference, I want to put this image again back to you guys so you can see what we are doing. Huh, this would actually smell like fish.
That's the dog treats.
Oh, so she apparently gave a dog treat that smelled like fish. I was like, what? I feel like I'm making tuna. All right, we are 1 hour in the video. Uh, what do you guys think? You like the idea of how to frame all these odd shapes like tuna? So again, when we do all these kind of a weird shapes, it's just a matter of a little bit of a try and error. Painter saying with fish sticks. Every time I hear that, I just remember South Park. Do you like fish sticks? But that joke is not good anymore. I will be banned from YouTube. So nope. So One of the things that always you consider when you do these kind of odd shapes is always try to keep in mind uh, what is going to be your main angle, your main point to start, the top, the bottom, the corners, how you want to have this set, you know, because again, you're gonna use a ruler as a reference, so you can know where's the nose, where is everything. So when you create a square on the screen, you're going to be able to have a good idea. Well, I don't see the light of a laser from here, so it's not here. So cool, all the lights that are going right now up here. So you want to make sure that whatever you are framing, in any way you are framing, is always consistent. You will see the smoke. I think you guys see all the smoke going. But it's actually being, I see them from here and I see the smoke like coming in the curve and going to the little suction. I'm really pleased with that little toy. I'm gonna put the link below. For small projects and things like that, works really good. I'm gonna say there's nothing better than a whole enclosure. That's absolutely, don't get me wrong. But for small projects, little things like this life is working amazing. And for I believe it was like $40 or something like that. That air extractor works great. So I think Oscar, you are inside a house too, right? You because the cold right now, and I know that you try different ones around. So let me know if that is an option. I will put all those on all those links on the description below. But yeah, it's actually really useful. So for this thing, this come with a glass already on it. One of the things that I always recommend when you're gonna do one of these things is take these off. Just a couple screws, take them off. You have the actual enclosure. That's right. How you manage the outlets? A lot of people are like the outlets are not great for the air. You're using a different air extraction. I have an X2 enclosure. I just don't use it because airflow is not great. So what I was saying is just take these little screws here, and you will have all this area. So when you take the screws, for whatever reason, I keep talking to the screen instead of talking to the camera. I don't know. I should put the camera right in front of the screen so I can see it. So take the screws off so you can have the lid separate and use it on your machine. That's the easiest way. If you're worried about the glass, they usually come with a little metal here that you can fold and take this out. Just be careful; these things tend to break, so they're not meant for you to be taken out. Just keep that in mind. I think the little fishy is coming along pretty decently. I don't understand why it skipped the H. That's really funny. Now, since I'm using probably too much power for this wood that is really soft, you will see a lot of charring. But that goes away with a really quick sanding because it's really soft. We have Tess hanging out with us tonight. Huh? What? What? Guys, you have any questions? You would like to put any questions there, please? A light burn nouns. Really, really pleased with that air extraction, but I think I need to move it because the laser might hit the end. So I'm gonna do a little change. Okay, I think that's better. Yes. So I use one of those enclosures that you can buy on Amazon. I was a cheap one. I think it's a Comgrow. Not sure. I'll put it on the link below as well. It comes with a 3.5 outlet, which is horrible. Nothing fits. I changed it for a 4 inches one. I put it on the window. I have it on the window with a big exhaust. I did another hole on the other side of the enclosure so I can have actually air coming in because again, if you don't put something to put air inside, this is going to start shrinking and creates a vacuum. And when that happens, your fan is not efficient enough again. So some smoke is going to start escaping of it. Now, the main problem with almost all the enclosures, and this is across the board, is they're open on the bottom. So when you have a high PSI or pressure air assist and it's blowing air through your honeycomb, some of the smell is still is going to go out unless your area where the honeycomb is sitting seals very well. So just keep that in mind. So if you don't close the area and you have only one inside for air, most likely you're still going to have some smell. You might not have a smoke, but you still want to have some smell, especially cutting acrylics, leather. I swear to God, that smells like you are burning a person. It's horrible. And don't ask me how I know you burn a person. An animal too. It's just horrible. Uh, so leather stinks, and it will stink your house. Make sure that your enclosure is closed at the bottom the best possible as well. Uh, Other than that, I think I like X2 idea. I don't like how it sits on the table. I don't like the limitations on the height, and I don't like the inlet is a line across the side under the honeycomb. So you have to raise your machine so the honeycomb doesn't block the air. And some people don't do that. Some people don't have it. And when that happens, well, you lose airflow, and then some smoke is going to escape. I hope X2 address that and release a second version of the enclosure. I think they did a better job when they put the enclosure for the extension, honestly. But again, the height is a limitation. If I'm using a machine this long, I'm gonna put a big piece of wood, and how it opens is a little bit complicated for me to try to put a big piece of wood inside or something bulky. Yes, it's too tight. That's absolutely correct, Oscar. So just keep those things in mind. This is almost done. This is almost done. Let's see. Let's see where it is right now. I don't know where is my sandpaper. I should have some on hand. So that's one of the things that I don't like much on balsa wood. Balsa wood has the coat on the top is a little bit, soft and everything. It chars a little bit, for sure. But it's great to do quick engravings, nothing major. Just go ahead and engrave. You want to cut it, you cut it right off the top with no problems whatsoever. This is almost done. Let's take a look of that. Oh, ho, ho, ho. And this is deep. I mean, this carve in it. That's why. Again, balsa wood is super soft. Let me show you guys. All right, here it is. Look at how deep is this. So just a couple passes on the sandpaper, but the position though, you will see that you see the picture. Let me show you this on the screen really quick. So you see where this was, you see where that was, and you see where it is on this, and it's spot on. This is right on the spot. So with a fishy dolphin, it's not a fish. With a dolphin, we are right on the money. Uh, so yes, this is the extractor I got. Kodo film extractor. I got this on Amazon. I will put the link below. As you guys know, I put an affiliate link, so if anyone decides to buy this, we get a little commission of it. But that help us. That help us especially to go and buy a $4 piece of wood. What in the world? Yes. So I did 115 speed and 150 millimeters per second. Okay, I'm using millimeters per second. 150 speed and 80% power on a 10 watt. Now, if you are using millimeters per minute, just multiply the 150 times 60 and it will give you the amount per minute. So it's quite simple. Just remember 60 seconds is 1 minute. You should be good with that. Uh, and this is super simple. This has nothing on it. It's literally just a flexible hose that you can move and adapt. And then minimum speed, maximum speed, and inside there is a activated charcoal. Yeah, that's what they say. Activate charcoal filter. Let me tell you one thing. It doesn't do a squat. The smell is going to go either way out. So what I do is I put out here the outlet that I use on my enclosure. So it's actually this fan soaking, and then the other one is, taking the air out of the window. So that's what I do. Um, that's it, guys. I think we are like for an hour or so, hour and 20 online. I don't want to take the entire night of you guys, but I hope this explains a little bit more. I want to show you what I did really quick on the files. I have one of the projects that I open at the little box. I don't want to save this project, so I want to show you here. Boop, here we go. So for the box, I did the same thing. I drew the box. How you draw the box. So let me show you this really quick. So I'm gonna hide this log that over there, and once I have the measures or whatever, the measurements or whatever, the box was a little bit more difficult because when you take the picture, it covers a little bit of the time. So this is a little bit off on measurements, but still you have the object in your hand, so you can measure this and always. I just want to show you how to draw the shape because a lot of people has problems here. So the little pen, it actually helps you to go one line by one line. Okay, so you can go line by line into the corners. Now that's option A, and the other option is you click one, hold the key on your keyboard, and you will see that this is going straight even if I'm going up and down. So you will have the option to go 45 degrees and perfect 90 degrees. In that way you have a better shape to go. Now this is important. Just pay attention to the shape of the mouse. I know it's a little hard to see, but depending the shape of the mouse, you are drawing another line or you are closing an element. So I want to show you here how this goes. If I close the element, there is no more line coming out. If I don't close the element what I'm drawing, but I'm close to it, see, you will see the mouse that is a little line. That means that I'm creating a line. So I'm putting the click in the wrong place. That's what it means. Okay, a trick. This is a little trick that I use on here. So go to a layer. Let's say that you want to create a layer. Let's say this blue layer, right? So when you create a shape of whatever it is, here it is, you start creating the shape. Make sure that this layer is set to fill. When you set the layer to fill and you create whatever shape and you get close, where it's going to close, you will see the element turning into a solid. If you move a little bit and it's not close, the element is going to be still lines. Even if you see the mouse and it's there, I swear of God, no, it's not. Here is close. Okay, so that's a little tip for you guys. When you're drawing something, use the drawing on fill so you can see it as a solid. Just make sure that you have the option to keep the field as a smooth and not just as coarse, because if not, it's not going to give you that the look that you're looking for. So just make sure of that. Remember, when you are there, it's going to turn on. Even if you don't see the vertex, it's going to turn on and it's going to fill the element, so you know that you are actually closing your drawing. And that's it, guys. I really appreciate you coming on and be live with me. As usual, please subscribe, help us tremendously. Give us a thumbs up, like the video, share the video. There's a lot of people that is trying to get this a little bit more mastered the way to align different stuff. That's a technique that I use. Again, it wasn't designed for lasers. It was designed to work with a pencil and a paper, and it works very well on lasers. So don't be a shark bait. And as always, guys, fire the laser. Stay safe.